Hello, I'm Erik Robey.
And I'm Karla Schaffer, and this is Anne Arundel County Week in Review. In this week's show, we'll take a look at some new programs airing this month and how residents can now recycle and give back to the community at the same time. Making headlines this week? Well, of course, the biggest news around the globe was the killing of terrorist leader Osama bin Laden by Navy SEALs in Pakistan. As you probably know, Annapolis is home to the U.S. Naval Academy. An amateur video of midshipmen celebrating the successful mission quickly went viral. The excitement also prompted visits to the Anne Arundel County 9/11 Memorial in Millersville, where residents came to pay their respects to those who died and reflect on the day that will live in infamy. Construction is set to begin soon on the second phase of the memorial, when contractors will add informational plaques, lighting, landscaping, and benches. They will also build a hero's path made of inscribed bricks donated by citizens. The deadline to purchase a brick is soon. It's May 15th, so if you would like more information on how to order a brick, call 410-222-7949. You can inscribe your name, the name of a loved one, or a message to the troops. County Executive Leopold said of the memorial, "We have already witnessed just how much a memorial like this means to people. It features real artifacts in the huge steel beams recovered from the World Trade Center. The community has really come together in a show of solidarity with our first responders and our military personnel."
We have some good news for riders of the light rail and neighbors of the stop in Linticum. County Executive Leopold signed a memorandum of understanding this week with the Maryland Transit Administration, which will mean speedier police response to the station. Under the agreement, if a rider pushes one of the blue emergency buttons at a station, the call will go directly to Anne Arundel County Police, who are often patrolling in the vicinity. In responses to concerns from the community about crime, the MTA has also installed more cameras and increased its patrols at the station. County police say there have not been major incidents at the station, but they have been in constant contact with the neighbors surrounding it. They also have frequent bike patrols on the trains and in the areas served by the light rail.
In this week's Hot Topics, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to 1,344 calls for service. This included more than 1,028 emergency medical calls and 86 fire calls. Well, 2 people were critically injured in an accident in Pasadena, and firefighters worked to control 2 suspicious fires that occurred within hours of each other in a Glen Burnie neighborhood. With us now to tell us more about these incidents is Division Chief Michael Cox. Chief?
Thanks, Karla. The first incident occurred just after midnight on Friday, April 29, 2011. At this time, Anne Arundel County firefighters were dispatched for a reported motor vehicle collision in the area of 8049 Solly Road. The first unit to arrive on the scene reported a single vehicle accident with 2 occupants trapped. In this case, the driver of a Mini Cooper hit and sheared off a telephone pole, knocking out power to the area. The patients, a 23-year-old male and a 42-year-old female, suffered life-threatening injuries as a result of the incident. Crews worked about 20 minutes to free the 2 trapped occupants. They were flown via Maryland State Police helicopter to the University of Maryland's R. Adams Cowley Shock Trauma Center in Baltimore, Priority 1. In a turn of events, county firefighters responded to a reported building fire in the area of Furnace Branch Road and Margate Drive in the Marley area of the county just before midnight on Sunday, May 1, 2011. The first units to arrive reported smoke and fire evident in a vacant building that had previously burned a couple years ago. In this incident, firefighters were able to quickly extinguish the fire in about 20 minutes. One firefighter suffered minor injuries fighting the blaze, and he was transported Priority 3 to Baltimore Washington Medical Center to be evaluated. There was no damage estimates provided since the building had been determined to be a total loss from the previous fire. However, the firefighters' work was far from over. Around 4 a.m. Monday, May 2, 2011, county firefighters were dispatched to a report of another building fire in the area of Furnace Avenue and Bell Avenue. The first firefighters to arrive on the scene of this incident reported a vacant 2-story single-family dwelling fully engulfed in flames. At that time, an exterior fire attack was initiated utilizing elevated master stream devices. In all, it took more than 25 firefighters about an hour to bring the 1-alarm incident under control. Karla?
Thanks, Chief. County fire officials advised that damages were estimated to be about $175,000 for the vacant dwelling. Fire officials also advised that both of these early morning fires were determined to be suspicious in nature. Fire officials are asking anyone who may have information about these incidents to contact the Anne Arundel County Fire investigators on the arson tips line at 410-222-TIPS.
Well, there's more Week in Review to come. When we come back, we'll get a lesson on the diamondback terrapins from Mr. Tim Decker of Eagle Cove in Pasadena and some of his first graders. But first, take a look at the community calendar for what's happening around your county. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
County Executive John Leopold wants to remind all residents that an animal should never be left unattended in a vehicle during the hot summer months. Even on a mild day with the windows cracked, the temperature inside will rise quickly, causing imminent harm or death to pets. If an animal control officer sees an animal left unattended in a vehicle, a criminal citation will be written, and the owner of the vehicle must appear in court and face a potential fine of $500 and 30 days in jail. Don't put your animal in harm's way, even on a mild day. Don't leave any pets unattended in vehicles.
And welcome back, folks. Well, we've got a special treat for you here on Week in Review today. Straight with us from the Eagle Cove School in Pasadena, we have some wonderful folks. We have Mr. Decker. He's a teacher there at Eagle Cove. Science teacher. Welcome to the program. Ms. Travis Keene, who is a teacher also at Eagle Cove Elementary School. And we have two fine first graders that are sitting on the floor with a special little bucket that's got a friend in there. We have Anna and Henry. And they're going to tell us today a little bit about a project that they're doing that we're going to call Turtle Talk. So Mr. Decker, tell us a little bit about this project that you've embarked on as a science teacher with these first graders. I know you have a diamondback terrapin in that bucket.
Well, for 6 years now, we've been working with the first graders to bring in 2 terrapins, and they give them a head start. We raise them for a year in the classroom. They feed them, they measure them, they weigh them once a week. And then coming up soon, actually in another 3 weeks or so, we'll be releasing them back into the bay. So it's a great way for them to get to learn about things in the bay, especially the animals and how important the terrapins are and things along those lines. So. And
I understand when you first get them, when a terrapin is born, it's no bigger than the size of a quarter. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, the eggs, we tell them, are about the size of a ping pong ball.
Wow.
And so when we get them, they are very, very tiny. And hopefully you'll see them in a little bit and you'll see how big he's grown in the years. So that's very nice.
Well, we know that the terrapin is the symbol of the University of Maryland, and it's a state symbol of Maryland in general. Can you tell us why the terrapins are so important to the ecosystem here and to the Chesapeake?
Well, number one, they're just part of the ecosystem, and anything that if you remove a part of the food chain anywhere along the line, you're going to affect the whole chain. So they have been hunted in to this area for the last few years. They've been protected, but their numbers sank terribly. And so this is a way to get them back in numbers in the bay, and the healthier the bay is in any level, the healthier the bay is overall. So that's what we kind of teach these guys too. So.
Well, as a symbol of the state of Maryland, the diamondback terrapin, it's something that should be protected. And I understand you guys have started a project to help protect the terrapin, and this is dealing with commercial crabbermen and crab pots.
It is. We're trying to make people more aware of a little device. It's called a bird, and Henry has a bird, which is a little bycatch device. It keeps animals, it keeps air-breathing animals, such as the little diamondback, out of crab pots, so that little guys can swim in and out. But when they get to be a certain size, it's too small. The opening is too small, prevents them from entering the crab pot and drowning eventually. So we're trying to raise awareness of that, so that more people are cognizant of that, and to keep that up.
Keep that up. And Henry and Anna, you guys are first graders at Eagle Cove, correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. And tell us a little bit about, Anna, we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about what this turtle means to you and to the class. I know it's peeking its head out of the bucket there, and we'll take him out in a minute, but tell us what it means to you in the class. Do you guys enjoy having him as a pet in school?
Yes.
Good. And Henry, what about you? I know that you're one of those boys that like to go out and play on the playground and have a lot of fun, but what does the turtle mean to you for the class? Is it fun to have him around?
Yeah.
A lot of fun. And I understand he has a special name. You named this turtle, you guys named this turtle after a classmate of yours, maybe? What's the turtle's name? Anna. Oh, Anna, right here, Anna. That's wonderful.
And we were talking a little bit about what makes terrapins special. What do you think makes them special?
They're a part of our environment.
They are.
Can you guys maybe perhaps talk about what they did when they were little? What did they do when you guys first put them in the tank? What did we discover about them?
They surfed in the waves on the little
Wow.
pipe.
Wow. Kind of like Crush from Nemo, doing a little surfing out there with the turtles. Well, Henry, can you tell us a little bit about what your favorite subject is in school?
Math.
You like math? And your science teacher sitting right here, and you like math still? Well, guys, here's what we want to do. We want to go ahead so that all of our viewers out there can see Anna the turtle. So, Anna, if you could, can you take that turtle out of the bucket? Hold him up so the cameras can see him. There, oh, he's trying to swim, or she's trying to swim, excuse me, or we don't know yet, correct?
Yes, right.
We don't know what the
Not quite
turtle
sure
is. He's
exactly,
trying to
yeah.
swim. Well, that's great, and it's a diamondback terrapin. You know, the special markings on the turtle. And we were talking a little bit about the difference between, you know, regular tortoises and sea turtles and terrapins. What makes a terrapin so special, guys?
What kind of water are they in?
Brackish.
Exactly.
Brackish water. Well, that's great. That is absolutely wonderful.
So that means it's a mix of two different kinds of water, right? It's salt water and fresh water.
Do you guys remember how old the female has to be before she can lay eggs? Or she has to
8 or
wait?
7 years old.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
a long
great.
time.
Well, you guys have sure learned a lot about turtles, I see, this year. We'll end with the final question I have. I know you guys did this last year at Eagle Cove School.
We did.
And this is the second year you have 2 turtles.
Right.
You raise them for a year, and then what happens?
The sad part, we let them go, and it's one of those things that we may never see them again. We used to use another program where they would tag them, and I believe they're going to tag these too. So when they, if it is a female and she does come back up on shore to lay eggs, they'll be able to scan her to see if that is one of our terrapins, and then we'll get a little email saying, you know, Anna came up and laid eggs today, sort of thing. So the only time we'll hear from them is if they make it back to the beach.
So hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
All
Hopefully
goes well.
they make it back to the beach. That's
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
Well, anything else, guys? You want to say hi to any of your friends out there? Any of your classmates at Eagle Cove? There you go. Wave hi to them. We'll even get Anna the turtle to wave for them as well. Well, folks, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. We
Eagle
appreciate
Cove
it.
Elementary, of course, is at the end of Mountain Road. It's a private
It is.
school down there. It's a great learning institution in the county. And it looks like you've done a great job with these students here. And best of luck on the Turtle Project and all your efforts in the future. Folks, we're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, there'll be more Week in Review. Stay with us.
There are a lot of myths about hiring people with disabilities.
It will cost a lot of money. The truth is,
50% of accommodations cost under $500.
People with disabilities.
Fact is, 90% of workers with disabilities performances are rated average or above. See the possibilities, create opportunity.
Work matters.
Visit mdod.maryland.gov.
Welcome back. In today's Police Beat, Public Information Officer Justin Mulcahy joins us to talk about the search for answers in 2 separate incidences in the Glen Burnie area. Justin.
Thanks, Eric. Witnesses reported hearing shots fired and seeing 2 males running in the alley. Upon arrival, officers located the 44-year-old female victim from Brooklyn Park in a vehicle suffering from an apparent gunshot wound to the upper body. The victim was transported to shock trauma, and that's where she was in serious but stable condition. Through the investigation, it was learned that 2 male suspects approached the victim while she was sitting in her vehicle. At that point, one suspect brandished a handgun and shot the victim. Both suspects then fled on foot through the alley in the 5200 block of Wasena Avenue, heading in the direction of Baltimore City. Several police officers, a canine unit, and the aviation unit canvassed the vicinity but were unable to locate the suspects. At this time, the motive remains under investigation. However, preliminary information indicates that this was possibly not a random act of violence. Anyone with information on the incident is urged to contact Detective Travis Baldwin of the Northern District at 410-222-6135. First suspect is described as a black male in his late teens, approximately 5'11", with a thin build,
Last seen wearing a black hoodie, a black ski mask, and armed with a handgun. Suspect 2 is described as a male, unknown race at this time, in his late teens, also about 5'11", with a thin build. He had short hair and was last seen wearing a white t-shirt. We're going to move on now to our second incident. That one took place on May 1st around 1:36 in the afternoon. That's when officers from the Northern District responded to the 200 block of Woodhill Drive in Glen Burnie for a report of a shooting. When officers arrived on scene, they were advised that a 37-year-old male victim had driven himself to Baltimore Washington Medical Center after apparently being shot. Officers responded to the hospital and spoke with the victim, who indicated that he met up with a male subject in the Woodhill Drive area to engage in the sale of a vehicle. At one point during the encounter, the suspect displayed a handgun and attempted to rob the victim. The victim immediately exited the vehicle, attempted to run away, but was followed by the suspect, who managed to catch up with him. That's when a struggle subsequently occurred, resulting in the victim being shot in the lower extremity. At that point, the suspect left the scene and was apprehended, fortunately, a short time later after a brief foot chase. This was in the Oak Manor Drive area. Additionally, a handgun believed to have been used in the incident was recovered, along with a large amount of suspected crack cocaine. The suspect was transported to Northern District, and that's when he was charged with attempted first-degree murder, attempted second-degree murder, also charged with first and second-degree assault, reckless endangerment, armed robbery, use of a firearm in a drug trafficking crime, also charged with handgun in the use of a violent felony crime, and handgun on person, and they tacked on several drug-related charges as well. That suspect is Roy Jr. Harris, age 26, of 470 Glenmar Road, apartment A3 in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Now, as always, folks, if you have any information on any of the crimes or suspects we mentioned on the show, don't hesitate to call, email, or text your tip to Metro Crime Stoppers hotline. It's available 24 hours a day, toll-free at 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. You can also text message MCS plus your message to crimes at 274-637, or visit the website at www.metrocrimestoppers.net. Remember, phone calls are not recorded and callers remain anonymous. You might be eligible for a cash reward of up to $2,000. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Justin. We hope someone with information will see this report and call us with a tip.
In this week's Community Spotlight, Marina Hardy visits the Northern Anne Arundel Chamber of Commerce to talk with Fran Schmidt about the BWI Multicultural Chamber event. Marina?
I'm Marina Hardy, here today with Fran Schmidt of the Northern Anne Arundel County Chamber of Commerce, and we're here to discuss the BWI Multicultural Chamber event. Fran, can you tell me when this event will be?
It's going to be held on June 14th. Check-in will be 5:30, and the event will officially start about 6 o'clock and go till 8.
Fantastic. And where is the event being held?
The event is being held in the International Pier of the BWI Airport. Now, if you're not familiar with that, it's the end of the airport, Pier E.
Fantastic. And I know sometimes parking can get pricey around the airport. Is there a pricing discount, or how do people get their parking waived?
No, anyone who attends the event, their parking will be validated, so they won't have to pay for parking that evening.
Fantastic. That's a great event to have at the airport. Who is invited to attend the event?
Everyone is invited to attend the event. We've really started this as a way to bring different ethnic business groups together as a common area, to have them network with each other and talk about common practices. We find that businesses tend to stay in what we call silos, where they tend to stay with people that they're comfortable with. So the first multicultural event that we held last November really brought a lot of different business groups together. So we would love to see different business groups, community groups, anyone who's really interested in meeting some leading businesses in the area, that they should attend.
Fantastic. And how do you go about reserving a seat or coming to the event?
Well, there'll be many different organizations participating. So if you're a member of a specific ethnic minority group or a business association, you could check with them to see if they're involved. But I strongly suggest that you contact our office, and that would be the Chamber of Commerce office, and you can reach us at info@NAACCC.com, and we can send information. The information will also be on our website, and that is www.naACCC.com. And we're going to be doing just one reservation area through our chamber to make it easy for everyone to attend.
Fantastic. And if you belong to a community group and you reach out and you find out that they're not participating, can that community group still contact you to become involved?
Absolutely, especially right now because we're having just some planning groups getting together. We want to involve as many different organizations as possible. So our chamber looked at this last year, like I said, and really decided that there was a need in the area to do this. And we're so fortunate to be able to work with BWI Airport, and especially hosting something at the International Pier. It's a great area.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better location to host a multicultural event.
That's
and
right.
Coming together of communities. Well, Fran, thank you so much for all you do in the community and for the area and for all the businesses and supporting Anne Arundel County. And best of luck on this event.
Thank you very much. Hope to see you there.
I will be.
Thank you, Marina.
It's always good to see chamber events. I tell you, we've got some very strong Chamber of Commerce. I mean, you go down to South County, which I've been to most of these meetings. South County Chamber of Commerce, always well attended down there. North County, of course, well attended. Pasadena, Severna Park, West County. I mean, we've got a lot of strong businesses in Anne Arundel County, strong small businesses.
Right, who are very involved with each other and the community as well.
Absolutely, and that's part of what makes Anne Arundel County great. That and our sports, Karla. You got to see it. Good day, sports fans. We start on the baseball diamond this week as two surprisingly good teams did battle in Glen Burnie. The Gophers came into Tuesday's contest with a .500 record on the season, due in part to the big bat of John Robinson, who belted a solo homer in the first inning. Northeast came back to score a run of their own in the first when pitcher Brandon O'Malley hit a sac fly to left to score one. O'Malley would shut the Gophers' bats down pretty much the rest of the way, retiring 11 of the next 12 hitters he faced. The Eagles would go on to pick up their 9th win on the season, 4-2 over Glen Burnie. Elsewhere, Brian Dunn and Zach Jackson combined for 1/2 of Old Mill's run support as they defeated Meade 8-4. Severna Park would only need 5 innings as they had no problems getting past Annapolis 12-1. Broadneck pulls an upset as they come back to beat Arundel 7-6, and South River uses defense and strong pitching for their 3-1 victory over Southern. Well, if you like offense and scoring, Old Mill was the place to be on Wednesday night as the Patriots took on the Northeast Eagles in girls lacrosse. Kelly Paulson had an explosive game for the Lady Patriots, scoring 3 times in the first half and then, get this, 5 more goals in the second half to lead all scorers. Courtney Wolford did her best and managed to keep the Eagles alive, scoring 6 times. However, Old Mill was just 1 goal better in this one, 16-15. Elsewhere, Severna Park moves to 10-3 on the season with a 21-6 win over Arundel. Chesapeake has no problem defeating those winless Gophers 13-1, and South River ruled the first half, but Annapolis made a comeback in the second, but it fell short as they lost 15-8. And finally today, we're nearing the end of Rockfish Trophy season, so to all of you anglers and of course tanglers like me out there, remember, get your lines in the water and catch the big one. But from our friends at Maryland DNR, make sure you have the proper license and you're treating our waterways with respect as you enjoy the sport of fishing this summer. Well, in our Recreation and Park Spotlight, Save the Bay, at Lake Waterford was a huge success due to the partnership between the Department of Recreation and Parks and the Volunteer Center for Anne Arundel County. Over 150 people from various community groups came together at the park to help clean it up and learn how to make the community greener. In today's Recreation and Park Spotlight, Carolyn Ryan had a chance to catch up with the organizers of the event. Carolyn.
Thanks, Erik. We're here at Lake Waterford Park, where on this beautiful Saturday morning we have over 100 volunteers out rolling their sleeves up, putting their gardening gloves on, and helping with Save the Bay Day. I'm here with Faye Morrow from the Volunteer Center for Anne Arundel County, Bruce Baker from Comcast, and Wendy Scarborough from Anne Arundel County Recreation and Parks. Faye, can you tell us, what is Save the Bay Day? How did all these groups come together?
Well, this is our second year here at Lake Waterford Park, and we put together volunteer projects throughout the county, but this is very close to our heart because we have so many youth that participate. We have partnerships with Anne Arundel Recreation and Parks to make this happen. Comcast is here today as Comcast Cares Day. We have folks from Priority out near the airport, at the Action Club at Bella McCree, that includes some Kiwanis Club members. We have several key clubs here from high schools throughout the county. We have Kohl's department store folks doing outreach here. all of these people have heard about how we have to take care of our parks in order to be able to enjoy them for ourselves and our families, and they're here doing this wonderful cleanup day.
Great. Well, speaking of taking care of the parks, Wendy, tell us a little bit about the actual projects that they're working on and how that's going to help the park.
One of the main projects that we're working on is we needed new soft cover for our playground area. We had the cover delivered, but unfortunately they weren't able to spread it. So we have over 40 midshipmen in the playground area now spreading the soft surface for the play area so that we'll be safe for our children. We have youth and adults throughout the entire park just picking up trash. We have the people that are planting our gardens. We are very lucky to get a master gardener here to be able to assist us with making sure that we have proper native plants within the park. It's just here to beautify the park. As Carolyn stated, you know, we have now turned this into a community park, and the community needs to come together to take care of the park. And they are doing an excellent job, and we hope they continue.
And one of those organizations that's here, as Faye mentioned, is Comcast. Bruce, can you tell us about Comcast Cares?
Sure. This is actually our 10th anniversary helping the community. We have thousands and thousands of employees throughout the Maryland-Delaware region helping out through the community. We have over 30 participants from Comcast at this park today helping out. Some folks came as far as York, PA. I have a couple of folks from Harford County that came down, and it was an overwhelming response. We have folks that are donating blood throughout the region from the last week to help all of the victims of all of the terrible tornadoes that we've had in an effort to help the community.
Great. Well, it sounds like a great community project, community day out here. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Carolyn.
Well, we have some new programming to tell you about. Each month we try to bring you new shows from events around the county, and this month we have 3 new programs on the channel for your viewing pleasure. Are you a small business that hasn't yet tried recycling? County Executive Leopold recently hosted a public forum on the benefits of recycling for a cleaner environment and also savings on trash hauling contracts. You can watch the forum here every day at 11 a.m. And, as promised, we have the Maryland Senior Idol competition in its entirety. The contest featured seniors belting out classic songs from all over the state, including 2 contestants from Anne Arundel County. You can watch Senior Idol each day at 8 a.m. and weekends at 8 p.m. Finally, we have recorded a seminar given recently by the Department of Public Works on our efforts to improve our infrastructure for water and sewer. This program will give you a good overview of what the county does to maintain our sewer lines, roads, and other facilities. That program will be available right here at 2 p.m. each day and 11 p.m. on weekends. County Executive Leopold said of the programs, "Our county cable channel is a great way for citizens to catch programs they might not have been able to attend in person and to get the useful information provided."
We're getting as popular as CNN and TNN and all these MTV.
Almost, Erik.
Yeah, getting a little ahead of myself there. But no, really, it's a good educational. If you want education, come to the county cable channel. We're going to tell you, we're not going to tell you about we're not going to tell you about the capture of bin Laden and all those kind of things. We're going to tell you what's going on in your county.
News.
Local news. That's what people want.
You can get your national news from
get that
CNN.
somewhere else.
Yeah,
that's right.
You can get your local
we're like
news
the
here.
Small business of TV here in Anne Arundel County. Now, a lot of good stuff going on, and a lot of things that we didn't mention about the budget. Budget process right now is going through the council. We've begun the public hearings. There's a lot of work for the council to do this month. The month of May is always busy. They've also got comprehensive rezoning still going on for District 1 and 4, and then we're going to start District 6 and 7. So those guys are busy down there.
Very. It's a long process.
It is a very long process, but a lot of things happen. That's what people want to see. They want to see government workers and government employees and politicians, elected officials. They want to see everybody busy and making sure that we're...
And the events that are happening around the county.
Oh, yeah. May, spring, big events.
That's right.
Blue Angels
People are,
exactly.
At the end of the month, everyone's starting to get out. Now that spring is here, so.
That's right. So stop watching us and get out there. That wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode online anytime at www.aacounty.org. Archive episodes are available at blip.tv and YouTube. You can also subscribe to the free video podcast at iTunes. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news from around your county. We'll see you next time.